There's a big difference between a machete that looks good on a shelf and a machete that works when your life depends on it. Most of what's on Amazon falls into that first category. Today we're talking about the ones that belong in the second. 10 survival machetes, tested, reviewed, and broken down so you know exactly what you're getting before you spend a single dollar. Don't buy anything until you watch this. The first entry on our list is the Barebones Nata tool, a unique survival blade inspired by traditional Japanese bushcraft tools. Barebones took that original concept and gave it a modern upgrade with a 12-inch stainless steel blade made from 4 CR13 steel and a full-tang construction that runs the full length of the walnut handle. That's important because that added weight in the handle gives you real swing momentum without making the whole tool feel clunky. What makes it stand out visually is the wide cleaver-like blade with a squared-off tip. It's not a traditional machete shape, but that curve makes it a genuinely wicked chopper. That extra mass makes it surprisingly effective for chopping small branches, splitting kindling, and processing camp materials. One thing worth mentioning is that some users have reported durability concerns after extremely hard use, while many others report years of reliable service. The Nata, it's not the tool for heavy-duty jungle clearing. The stainless steel, while easy to sharpen and very corrosion-resistant, isn't going to hold an edge like 1075 high-carbon would. But if you want something with character, something that looks and feels like a serious piece of kit, the Barebones Nata is one of the most unique tools on this list. Moving up the list, we have the Schrade SCKM1. The SCKM1 runs 13.3 inches of blade, nearly 20 inches overall, and it is beefy. Like when you pick this thing up, it has heft. The blade geometry offers a good balance between slicing and chopping, while the overall construction feels durable enough for demanding outdoor use. The machete's full-tang extends through the safety grip handle, the palm-swelling ergonomic design textured for excellent hand-gripping traction under all weather conditions. The handle widens and flares at the butt, supporting proper hand placement when delivering sweeping power strokes. Steel is 3 CR13 stainless with a black powder coat for corrosion resistance. It comes sharp from the factory, too. Paper cutting sharp, according to most users. Where this one really earns its spot is the package deal. It comes with a nylon shoulder and belt sheath, a ferro rod fire striker, and a sharpening stone. For a machete at this price point, that's a lot of value right out of the box. If you're building a bug-out kit on a budget and want something that covers multiple bases, the SCKM1 is worth serious consideration. The main complaint from users is the handle geometry being a bit polarizing. Some love it, some find it awkward, but overall it's more capable than a lot of what you'll find at this price. Next up is the legendary Gerber Gator machete. The Gerber Gator machete's been around for years. There's a reason it continues to show up in survival kits across the country. This is essentially the benchmark for what a budget survival machete should be. Gerber built their reputation partly on design, and the Gator's been refined over time into something genuinely reliable. The blade is high-carbon steel at 18 inches with a low-glare corrosion-resistant coating, and the standout feature is that textured rubber overmold handle. Even with wet or sweaty hands, this thing stays locked in. That's not a small thing when you're out there working hard. The blade strikes a nice balance, thin and flexible enough to be efficient through vines and light brush, but with enough backbone for actual chopping. It's not going to fell a tree, but it's going to make trail clearing, camp work, and emergency shelter building feel easy. The nylon sheath even has a pocket for a sharpening stone, which is a thoughtful touch. The biggest limitation is that it's not the hardest hitter on this list. The thinner blade profile sacrifices some chopping power compared to heavier designs, but as an all-around survival tool, it's still one of the best values available. Now we're getting into the serious hardware. The cold Steel Kukri machete. Users frequently describe it as a hybrid between an axe and a machete. It clears brush efficiently, processes wood effectively, and generates tremendous cutting power without requiring excessive effort. Many long-term owners report years of hard use with excellent durability. The blade is 1055 carbon steel. That's a big step up in toughness compared to most of the stainless options we've talked about. 1055 carbon takes an aggressive edge, handles hard impact without chipping, and has been used in military blades for a reason. The trade-off, as always with carbon steel, is that you've got to dry it and oil it or it'll rust. The blade's 13 inches. The whole thing comes in at right around 16 ounces. Not too heavy, not too light. The kukri's shape naturally shifts weight toward the tip, which means your chops land harder with less effort. If you've never used a kukri profile before, it almost feels like the blade does the work for you. A 13-inch blade like this hits like an 18-inch blade. Cold steel finishes it with a black anti-rust coating and a textured handle for grip. Another advantage is versatility. While it's primarily known as a chopping machine, the kukri shape also allows controlled slicing and detailed camp work once you become familiar with its handling characteristics. At this price on Amazon, it's one of the best value-to-performance ratios on the market. The cold steel kukri has developed something close to a cult following over the years, and after using one, it's easy to understand why. It combines affordability, durability, power, and proven field performance into a package that simply works. This multi-function survival tool has been so well thought out that it can be adapted to such tasks as trail clearing, fire prep, and even shelter building. But the Woodman's Pal also excels at self-defense. It's the one tool on this list that we say has been used by American soldiers in war. The main blade on the tool is great for chopping, splitting, and trimming. This makes the Woodman's Pal awesome for prepping anything from kindling to larger pieces of wood for fire. The sickle hook on the back of the tool was great for shaving, pulling, pruning, and cutting. But the Woodman's Pal isn't just about pure raw aggression, processing, and demolishing. It's also got quite a bit of safety baked into it. Take the leather-banded handle that's surrounded by a steel handguard. The leather conditions to a point where your hands wouldn't slip from it unless you let go. The handguard keeps your knuckles safe while you're slashing and chopping. Then there's the round toe at the front of the blade. This is so you don't cut yourself if one of your wild swings misses its target. Additionally, the notch in front of the sickle hook was added to make sure your hand doesn't slip into it. If the Woodman's Pal was sufficient enough to be given to soldiers in World War II so they could survive in battle and beyond, we think that's good enough for any one of us looking for a few days in the outdoors where our biggest enemy might just be mosquitoes. Next up is the Cold Steel Black Bear Bowtie Machete. This one's something of a hybrid beast. Cold Steel designed it to combine the handling and geometry of a Bowie knife with the affordability and blade length of a machete. The result is a 12-inch Full-tang blade made from 1055 carbon steel with a steel guard, a feature you almost never see at this price point. That guard matters for hand safety during hard work and in any kind of defensive scenario. What's interesting about the Black Bear Bowtie is how rigid and thick the blade is compared to traditional machetes. That stiffness makes it a more authoritative chopper on branches and small trees, while the Bowie profile means the tip is usable for piercing and detail work. It's essentially a giant camp knife that can handle machete-level tasks. The handle is polypropylene and the stock grip can be a little on the slippery side. The heavy-duty nylon Corex sheath that ships with the Black Bear Bowie is serviceable, but certainly not anything special. If you're thinking dual-purpose, trail tool, and defensive option, the Black Bear Bowie is one of the most capable combinations on Amazon. This survival machete takes the original Soviet Special Ops design and improves the functionality. The Spetsnaz survival machete features a full profile tang and contoured hardwood scales for superior comfort and balance. This machete means business. It's thick, tough, and up for everything from light chopping to heavy-duty digging and even emergency sawing. The carbon steel blade is a whopping 3/8 inches thick, giving you the weight and sturdiness you need for any task. And let's not overlook the thoughtful details. There's an integral thumb rest with a nifty nail puller slot. This survival machete comes with a nylon sheath that has leather trim and 2 belt loops for tip-up or tip-down carry. If you're on the lookout for a dependable tool to accompany you in the wilderness, the Camilus Carnivore X machete might just be your perfect choice. This bad boy effortlessly adapts to all your outdoor demands and excels in various tasks such as cutting, digging, sawing, chiseling, and gutting. Crafted with premium titanium bonded 420 stainless steel, the 18-inch tactical blade is 3 times stronger than untreated steel, retaining its sharpness over time. The textured handle ensures a confident grip even in challenging conditions, and the ambidextrous design ensures it can be easily used by left or right-handed individuals. Safeguarded by a robust ballistic nylon sheath, this machete is protected against debris, making it your reliable companion on any adventure. Additionally, enjoy the convenience of the bonus 5-inch skeletonized trimming knife complete with 7 and 9mm hex heads and a versatile small nylon sheath for seamless carrying. Finally, with the versatile blade style, this one is a multi-purpose machete for a wide range of cutting tasks from chopping wood to clearing brush. Few blades blur the line between a machete and a sword quite like the cold steel two-handed katana machete, and that's the whole point of the design. It pairs a 24-inch Full-tang 1055 carbon steel blade with a modified Tanto-style point, finished in a black baked-on anti-rust coating with a 16.5-inch injection-molded polypropylene handle reinforced by 2 heavy-duty bolts. So if the handle ever gets damaged, it's a fixable issue rather than a deal-breaker. The long handle and sturdy crossguard lets you run the blade one-handed for quick brushwork or two-handed for full power chops. The design lends itself to choking up near the guard for tighter, more controlled cuts, or sliding your grip down to the very end of the handle for maximum reach and swing speed. In hand, the length does most of the work, and despite its size, it doesn't feel like a chore to swing repeatedly. The polypropylene handle shrugs off hard knocks, and the crossguard does real work keeping your hand from creeping forward into the edge during aggressive chopping, a detail that matters more in practice than it sounds like on paper. The included Corex sheath covers the blade securely, but given the overall length here, this is a truck, camp, or garage tool rather than something you're strapping to a belt. For over a century, SOG has been crafting quality blades and tools offered at a fair price. And a fantastic example of the Texas outfit's modus operandi is the Jungle Primitive's machete. Spanning 15.3 inches overall, this USA-made machete features a 9.5-inch partially serrated blade that's positioned opposite an offset tool sawback spine, a design that's been brought to life in a powder-coated 8CR13 MOV stainless steel construction. It's a short and handy tool that cuts through brush both thick and thin. Some people hate serrations, some people love them. This knife has them. The serrations on this knife are a little deeper and more aggressive than most that I've seen, and they cut cordage and rope with ease. Moreover, the sawback allows you to chop hefty branches and wood. The Kraton handle, it's extremely comfortable and helps you resist hot spots, blisters, and sore hands after a day of chopping. The compact size also makes it relatively easy to carry and pack in and out of the great outdoors. Born from the success of Chete, Tops Knives has scaled down the legendary cleaver machete hybrid by 1/3 to create the Lil Chete, a more compact fixed blade version that keeps the blade shape that made the original a legend, but packages it in a form that more users can carry for prolonged outdoor work. The Chete Mini spans 13.88 inches in total, meaning it's 26% smaller than the original. Despite its smaller size, you still get a lot of usable blades, with the thing clocking in at 7.88 inches. The Full-tang construction's been brought to life in 1095 carbon steel that's been rated at 56 to 58 HRC for hardness on the Rockwell scale. And while the Chete Mini may be 26% smaller than the full-size model, its blade stock is as thick as the original's quarter-inch stock, which allows the smaller variant to still easily stand up to hard-use tasks. The cleaver-inspired blade's been sandwiched between a set of grippy, textured canvas micarta scales. On top of featuring a bow drill divot, the handle also sports a massive notch separating the carrier's trigger and middle fingers, as well as a notch below the pinky to further bolster grip. Just like the original Chete, the little Chete ships with a black, custom-fitted hard Kydex sheath. By maintaining the exact original design and simply scaling it down, the Lil Chete is much more portable and lightweight while still being a pretty proficient cutting and chopping tool. It also features Top's usual brand of top-notch craftsmanship and build quality, which we also thoroughly appreciate.